Hello. I do. Started streaming. Hopefully. Right. Right, yeah. Just give it a second. That's it. Right. Hello. Finally back on this Epoch power supply. Okay. Right. So, we've come to the conclusion, since the last time we did this supply, I think I found out what's the matter with it, but without doing any more tests. So, what I'm going to do today is, I got the feeling that I wasn't getting any 12 volts, minus 12 volts. Got no minus 12 volts, or 3 volts instead of 12 volts. And because it's a floating power supply, I realised that they've got there's op amps built into these ICs down here. These ICs down here, there's op amps in them. And if I remember going back early 80s, well, mid 80s, the op amp uses a dual rail power supply, minus 12 and plus 12 for a CMOS device. So, if that's doing the comparison of the voltage, I'll get in my 36 volts is 44 volts, and I'm getting a weird effect going on. So I think we got the plus 12 volts. We haven't got the proper minus 12 volts. So I think it can't do its comparative work, because the op amp, I think it's got to swing minus 12 and plus 12. If it hasn't got the minus 12 volts, it can't do its comparison properly. Hence the 44 volts instead of the 36. So what I'm going to do now is going to try and trace the parts that do the minus 12 volts to see if I can find out where the problem is. And I reckon if I restore the minus 12 volts, I reckon the 44 volts will correct itself. It'll come back to 36 volts. And then I reckon if I can plug this back in, I think everything will work. I'm pretty sure of it. So, just looking at my screen flicking. Anyway, so right, we'll do some more tests now. First, I need to identify. Stick the scope on. I don't think so. I'll put it on anyway. Right, I've got a list here of these parts that we identified last time. There you go. So one of them is responsible for the minus 12 volts. Let's see if we can find it. BV12A. Let's try that. Hang on a second. BY V12A. I'm not sure that. DP1. Oh, those are diodes and rectifiers, so that'll be the thing that's rectifying the AC. So I don't think it'll be that. I need to look at the DC side of it, or the other side of that. So it'll be rectifying it. So yeah. Right. So I'm sure I've looked at these. One of these is a minus 12 volt regulator. Let's see if I can find it. 2080 BYQ 28E. See what that is. rectifier diode ultra fast. So that's another diode. They're just rectifying diodes. Okay. Right, so that's another one of those. Let's try this F9540N. Let's have a look at that one. F9540N. What have we got there? F9540. Power MOSFET. So that's a power MOSFET, that is. International rectifiers. Third generation power MOSFET from Vishay, providing design. So P channel. Fast switching. So that does. I suppose I should look back at my other video really. So anyway, what I'm going to do is going to go into it, and we're going to clip our supply onto this. So let's have a look at the book. The book tells us that's a bit bright, isn't it? Yeah. Right, so our -12's on 1, on plug 1. There it is. Plug 1, pin 1. It's a yellow wire. Well, it's not a yellow wire on here. It's plug 1. So, right, let's get some power. Let's get this. We'll find a bit of voltage here. Right, we've got to plug in first. We're not going to get nothing unless we plug in. So let's plug back in the mains, deadly mains. Switch it on. We're back on. Right, let's try to have a look at this. So we know this one here is the ground, I think. Sure, that was the ground, and this was. So we're getting minus 3.5 volts there. So we're getting minus 3.5 volts. So I need to clip that on really. Let's change one of these probes for a crocodile clip. Yeah, it's a bit early today in this live stream, but never mind. Right, I'm just going to change this one of these probes. I'm just going to try to trace this 12 volts, -12 back. So let's get a crocodile clip in there. Stick that onto. So if it doesn't short out, but they're both ground anyway. Right, okay. Let's get back on it. So pin 1, while we're on bleep, 3.6 volts. We're on 3.5. Okay. Well, so one of these diode packs here. These you can't see it, but this diode packs should be giving us our DC. I'm not sure where though. 31 volts AC. AC we got. Okay. 43 volts DC. What we got on the other side? AC. So we've got AC going in, and in the middle pin we've got 44 volts. Okay, let's try the next one. 18 volts. 18. Is that AC? It's AC. So the middle pin, DC, 25 DC. Okay. What we got here? 35 DC. 43 DC. 6 volts. That's got to be the 5 volt supply, isn't it? I would have thought. Alright, next one. Nothing there at the minute. DC 6 volts. Nothing there, nothing there. Right, okay. These are getting a bit more awkward now, because they're underneath. 25 volts DC. 22 volts DC. 12 volts DC, so these are a bit in the way, these what if I can move them out of the way? A bit scary, aren't they? That's it, yeah, just move them out of the way, that's it. Right, let's go. So we said that one was, that's 12 volts now. 7 volts DC. 25 volts DC. 19 volts DC. 7 volts. Maybe that's the 5 volts supply. Nothing there. 7 volts again. Okay. 7 volts. 5 volts. Oh, that's your 5.3. So that's me 5 volts out. Oh, 3.75 volts there. It's a weird one at 3.75 volts. Okay. I suppose I better bring up the device, haven't I? So that's, what device is that? U6. U6, there we go. We know what U6 was. Let's just put that in over here. Right. Let's get up EZ 1085 CT. Let's see the pin out for that. Get the diagram for that. Right, oh yeah, data sheet. Right, so this is a 3 amp positive voltage regulator. 1.3 volt max. Low dropout. Printer, plotter, instrumentation, microcontroller, telecommunication, motherboards, yeah. Let's open the package details. Right, so pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, okay. So let's see, pin 1 is ground. So pin 1 is ground, so there shouldn't be any voltage over here. Am I getting, yeah, so I might not be on the right ground. So if I say pin 1 is ground, pin 3 is in, pin 2 is out. So pin 3. So let's just change back again. Change the probe back to a probe. Pointy probe instead of crocodile clip. Let's get this one on to go. Try not to short anything out. Keep that still. So hopefully this one here and there should be. I'm get nothing there. Why have I got nothing there? Nothing there. 1.2 volts. That's weird. Hang on, maybe that's the next one. DP5. DP5. Right, so that's definitely the right one, U6. So, I wonder if the tab is. Let's just go on the tab. 1.9 volts. 1.9 out. Right, which is the out again? Out, in's the 3. I'm getting nothing on out. Right, so let's just go on bleep a minute. Where's bleep? I should be able to get. No, I got voltage. Where I got voltage? But maybe the tab is not linked with the ground. So I've got 3 is the input. So I've got nothing going into that according to that. Nothing going in. 1.2 volts coming out, but nothing going in. How can that be? That's strange, isn't it? I think I'm gonna have to undo the shield off it. I can't see what I'm doing. Just have a look at 12 volt return again. What's going on here? HD. I don't want HD. I want that one. Right. Okay. We're still running. So I'm trying to monitor myself at the same time, make sure I'm even doing anything. Right. Minus 12 volts. 12 volt return grey. 36 volts return. 9 and 10. So let's try 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So let's touch that onto there. What we got? 3.7 volts. 3.7 volts. Yeah, so both of those are minus. So I've got to do a bleep test. So if I go from there to the tab, will that be? No. What about this pin over here? Still nothing. That's awkward. Awkward to trace it back. Very awkward to trace it back. Alright. Without a schematic. You never get a schematic. Trying to. They don't make it easy to. Definitely don't make it easy. Right, why don't they make it easy? See, I'm getting nothing on that one. Right, I'm going to end it there and I'll resume a bit later. Okay.